take knowledge. To take knowledge. Technology, as far as I'm concerned, is taking knowledge. What's good? What's going on, my skin Pose? Welcome to the channel. Let's talk about it. Human beings are very basic creatures. Okay, when you have men who live close to nature, they study nature based on observations. You go into a place, you observe your environment, you study the plants, you know the soil texture, and you learn from it. We have not moved far away from the observation method. Children learn by observing, mimicking, and so forth. Okay. Now we see ourselves in the 21st century in 2024 as very advanced to the point that we have all this technology, advancements of technology, AI, and so forth. You know, we've had things were invented a long time ago, like the washing machine, and that removed the labor of washing by hand. Where in Africa, we still do that by hand, most of us. Um, you know, the vacuum cleaner, you don't got to sweep. Um, the whole lightening the labor, the load, so to speak, so that the person is alleviated from. But even though we can observe, like for instance, we had the horse and cart that didn't travel as far. We have the vehicle now; you could travel cross country type of thing. Human beings are suffering still from a lack of knowledge and understanding. We have we are less aware of our environments. We are less aware of each other. We're less aware of medicinal plants, for instance, as an example, a passion of mine. We are less aware about the social cues. We live in a world where people are absolved of their capacity to reason independently. Thank you, social media, for that. So I subscribe to a view now that the purpose of the furtherment of technology is to essentially take the knowledge of man. Think about, why would you push towards a driverless car? Like, what problem does it solve? You could say, well, more accidents and so forth. But you want to make the person so redundant that they can just sit in there and drink they shake, the milkshake and the burger. That's what you want to do. Like, get it to the point where, you know. And if you look at the majority of people, myself included, when we're sitting on a flight or sitting on a train or sitting on a bus, we are tend to be so obsessed with the phone, whatever's going on with the phone. The technology is busying our curiosity. Our curiosity that's supposed to be spent on observing our environments and seeing challenges in our environment and saying, hey, I know how to solve that. As we observe our world around us, as we see danger around us, as we see social problems around us, you're like, hey, I can solve that, because we're supposed to be problem solvers. So now that curiosity, that observation, that time in between of where your mind's supposed to be just like bored, I suppose, but discovering, is given over to social platforms. The eyes are given over to screen time. You know, back in the day, the TV was all there was to it. When you came back home, you're absorbed by TV. That's what they call it, the idiot box. Now, if the TV was an idiot box, what is now the cell phone? I think it's far worse than the television. Now, I recognize that this message is for the few. A lot of people are going to be thinking I'm just talking crazy, and that's it. You know, we're not trying to blow up the channel with fast food information. I'm just giving it to you real. If the television was seen as an idiot box, putting forth, like if you think about the feminist agenda, that was successful because of television. It was projected what it meant to be feminist. Even now, I mean, there's a period of time where everybody was getting tattoos, especially young girls. They're getting tattoos, and that was projected to us by television. You know, concepts about Hiroshima and Nagasaki were televised. You know, we see Big Brother, you know, all that stuff, and people that are always obsessed with that, we can see their byproduct of that. What more the phone? As you get drawn into the technology, whether it's the Whoop, you know, the wearables, how many steps did I do today? You know, people are doing steps, but they're still fat. You're doing all these 10,000 steps, but you're still unhealthy. You're more concerned about reaching that target rather than looking at your general health as an observer. Like, hey, maybe I'm not good. I'm not eating right. They're high fiving each other because they did the right steps. So the technology is taking the knowledge, the basic knowledge of every human being. If you are absent from technology, you would observe your conditions and you would change them because you would observe them to be not correct, and then you would adjust yourself. You'd see that if somebody came into your room and your head was bowed down looking at a phone, that'll be a rude thing to do. But people are just obsessed on dates. People do not engage. And society is based just on obsessive over something that's an illusion because technology is presenting something that's far away. The present is not worked on, it's not observed. People are not in the present, they're somewhere else. Or a friend of mine is having a party, or she's having so much fun, or he's on a trip, or look how good. Nobody's present. And when you're not present with your thoughts, the mind cannot work on solutions based on your circumstances around us. The human existence is about problem solving, whether it's in an interaction or whether it's a physical thing. But human beings are being depleted of that. And the majority of people just succumb to that power. And even worse now, you give up your privacy and your freedom. We're engaging with these devices so much more than we engage with people. And we're escaping them. It's our comfort zone. It's our go-to. It's our relationship dynamic. And some people, they have, oh, look at all these followers that I got. I feel so validated. So the technology is validating you. You will never know if those people are legitimately behind it. And oftentimes, even if there's just people that you don't know, how can you be validated by people you don't know? But people are getting that and they're foregoing real relationships. People are depressed because somebody's on vacation having a great time and they're not there and they're not having that type of life. People are divorcing based on the fact that that man's not providing that luxury lifestyle. Technology is taking the knowledge of people. The knowledge that we have about food, technology is just presenting, 8 facts about these foods. Before we knew and we acted accordingly, now we don't know. We're ignorant, we're dumb. And it's about to get worse. I know it's already bad enough, but a lot of people are removed from just reality. We have no concept of where things come from, how things work, but we just say, I saw it on Google. So technology is depleting the human brain of the knowledge that the human brain is supposed to have about the environment, relationship wise, any dynamic really, if you can think of. Go ahead, let's subscribe and share. Get this word out. Peace, love, and blessings.